AITA for asking my boyfriend to help take care of his mom on his days off? My 26F boyfriend, 27 meters, recently moved in with his mother who has MS to take care of her. She is paralyzed from the waist down. I'm now a SOM and full-time caretaker for her. I do all the work and take care of my daughter and his daughter when she's here. They are both 5. This SOM thing is new territory for me. I've worked since I was 14. I've been struggling with anxiety and depression for a while, but it's only heightened with our new situation. She is fairly easy to take care of, only about an hour and a half of work every day. But on top of everything else I have to do, I get overwhelmed easily. He knows this, and I'm trying my best to work on time management and organizing things around the house every day so I'm not as overwhelmed when it comes time to clean or cook dinner. We had an aide come in twice a week to give me a break, but she got a new job, so we no longer have one. This morning, I brought this up to him and said, "Would you be willing to help me on your days off?" He kind of threw a fit about it and said, "Why can't we just hire someone else? I'm out there working. I don't want to do that on my days off." For me, I don't want to hire someone right away because we are trying to build up our savings and that's money we could hold on to. I feel like he is taking me for granted. I feel like he doesn't value me or what I've given up for him to be here and be with his mother. He gets to sleep in on his days off. I never get to sleep in. He argues he shouldn't have to help clean on his days off as well. I always cook. I always clean. And again, I'm always taking care of his mom. I feel hurt and unsure of the future. I grew up with a dad who came home and sat on his ass until he fell asleep for the night. My mom did every single thing. I don't want to fall into that trap and I'm terrified. I do appreciate him and what he does, but I don't know why he's so against helping me on his days off. So AITA here? NTA, you don't want to burn yourself out. He is an adult. This is his family we are talking about. He should absolutely pitch in. Just because you're a SOM does not mean that is not a demanding full-time job in itself. AITA for refusing to change my workout routine to appease my husband. My husband, 34M, and I, 32F, have a 2-year-old son. About a year ago, our son was in daycare and both my husband and I were working full-time. But we started having a lot of issues with our daycare and felt they weren't doing enough to work with us on those issues. Eventually, we had a last straw moment and pulled him out of that center. For about 2 to 3 weeks, we took turns staying home with him while we tried to find a new daycare, but everywhere was either fully booked, too far away, or not what we were looking for. We are on a waiting list for our top 2 picks, but they don't expect openings until early next year. That led to a hard conversation about what we were going to do. We ended up deciding, together, that I would remain at work and my husband would stay at home with our son. This was because of multiple factors. My job gives better benefits, including our insurance. It also pays more and offers more upward mobility. I work in a highly competitive corporate environment and it can be very stressful. That stress is made even worse by being the sole provider for our household. I feel constant pressure to perform well at work. In order to decompress after work, I use my company's gym facilities at our offices after work. This usually takes me 30 to 60 minutes depending on my workout. It's also a huge boost to my self-esteem because I'm still working towards getting my pre-birth body back. My husband has started to gripe at me about staying at work later to work out. I've explained to him that I use that time to decompress so that when I get home, I'm in full mommy, wife mode. I don't want to rush home and still be thinking about work. But he feels it's inconsiderate of me to take time for myself nearly every day when he doesn't get that same opportunity. It turned into a fight this past weekend because he made a comment about it again and I told him that I am not going to change my routine. I told him it's the easiest way for me to work out and that it doesn't add that much time to me being out of the house since I can work out at my office. I told him that I'm constantly stressed at work and working out before I get home allows me to relieve that stress so when I get home I'm fully present. I also reminded him that hopefully we can get our son back into daycare in a few months and that this is all short-term. I give him plenty of time to himself on weekends, so it's not like he never has time for himself. I told him the stress of being the sole provider is a huge burden that I feel every day, and my workout routine is the biggest thing that helps me cope with that. He told me that I'm being selfish and that I may be a good provider, but I'm being a crap mother and wife. I told him that is by far the meanest thing he has ever said to me, and all he said was, "Sometimes the truth hurts." He refused to apologize to me and doesn't understand why I need that time for myself. If a man posted this, I think everyone would say YTA as a reflex. I get the anxiety of getting your body back after being pregnant, but I think staying late every day to work out is unfair to him. So yeah, YTA, I'd be annoyed AF if I was in your husband's situation. You decided together to go down this route, and being a stay-at-home parent is hard work with no pay. It's not about appeasing your husband, it's about working together as a team. Your husband sacrificed his job to fix the daycare situation. The least you can do is be flexible about your workout routine. AITA for telling a waiter I want to change tables because there is a crying baby next to me? My husband and I went out for dinner a couple of nights ago. It was the first time by ourselves after our baby was born. It's my second child, the first for my husband, so it was kind of a big deal for us. We got a babysitter and we went to a very nice fancy restaurant. A few minutes after we ordered, another couple sat on the table next to us, with a small baby in a stroller. At first it was fine, but after a few minutes the baby started crying. They tried to comfort it, but every time it seemed they had managed to make it sleep, it woke up crying again. By then we just wanted to leave, but we had already ordered, so we decided to ask the waiter if we could change tables to the other side of the restaurant. The waiter asked if there was a problem, and I said it was our first time out after having a baby and we didn't feel like spending our evening next to someone else's crying baby. He was super nice and quickly asked another waiter to help him set up the new table for us. Another couple that was in the same area also asked to be seated elsewhere. The couple with the baby overheard what we said to the waiter, and especially the mom got upset and called me an ah. She went on and on saying that I probably don't have kids. I have two. And that babies are also people and we should just accept that babies can be loud and cry and there's nothing she could do about it. I didn't want to start a fight or anything, but I got really annoyed by her attitude, so I told her that she could actually do something about the crying. She could take her baby home so it can properly sleep and then let everyone else there enjoy their meals. She kept saying stuff, but I just ignored her, went to our new table and tried to have a nice dinner. Although we could still hear the crying baby, but at least it was not right next to us. This morning I told my sister what happened and she said she agrees that I might have been an ah. She said I shouldn't have said to the waiter that we wanted to move because of the baby, and I shouldn't have said what I said to the mom. So now I am not sure? AITA? NTA. If you had asked the waiter to have the other couple leave, then yes, YWBTA. Instead, you inconvenienced yourself, moved to a different table to enjoy your meal. Also, I'd like to point out as a parent that there are places I will not take my small child to, as they do not yet have the social awareness and self-control to behave. Yes, they need to learn, and they can learn at less fancy places. I have turned down invites to activities because they were not at a child-friendly location and I did not have childcare.